This video is about passive circulation for hot potable water. A hot water circulation system cycles hot water around your house to minimize long wait times for hot water to get to sinks, showers, and other places where hot water is used. Hot water circulation is more commonly used with a circulation pump to actively move hot water around a loop, but I'll briefly explain the passive system and how it works and its comparative benefits. To illustrate, I'll show how potable water moves around my house. On the top, I show a top-down plan view of the house, and on the bottom, a side perspective elevation view. I show the 3 bathrooms and the kitchen, both where they are in the house, but also on the different levels they're on. First, let's look at the cold water system. Cold water comes into the house and is routed to a central manifold by a 1-inch pipe where it branches off to its various locations for use. This is a typical design that is often used for both hot and cold water feeds. The issue with this design for hot water is that over time, the water in the system cools down and you have to drain the cold water in the lines before you get the warmer water back to your faucets. In a potable hot water circulation system, the hot water comes from the hot water tank and it runs to each user in series. In my system, this is 3/4-inch PEX, which has about twice the area of 1/2-inch PEX, so that it can reasonably support 2 users concurrently. At each location, a manifold branches off 1/2-inch PEX to separately support a sink, tub, shower, or other hot water user. After the last user, the hot water line runs back to the hot water tank. Okay, this is a super important detail here regarding the difference between an active and a passive system. In the active system, a circulation pump is put in the return line that forces water towards the tank, reheating it and sending it back through the hot water loop. This pump also prevents cold water from circulating around the loop backwards. In a passive system, there is no pump, and the return line goes through a throttling valve. In my system, I use a globe valve that is open in just a crack. The purpose is to let cool hot water return to the tank while also preventing cold water from running backwards through your hot water system. Setting this perfectly requires some time and adjustment. This system saves the electricity of running a pump to cycle the water, which is arguably not needed since the passive system will gradually recycle the water as it cools. Interesting, but how does it work? Let's look at these 2 sections of PEX, the portion where the PEX goes from the first floor to the second floor and then back to the first. Inside these tubes is a volume of water. Further from the hot water supply, the water will be naturally cooler as it loses heat to its surroundings. So, that section of pipe has cooler water, which is more dense, and therefore very slightly heavier than the comparable water in the pipe going to the second floor. Gravity pulls this heavier water down, while replacing it with the hotter water, which naturally will rise, creating a small but consistent current in the system. In my system, a small portion of the hot water pipe on the return line is uninsulated, helping establish and maintain the small current needed to cycle the hot water. In this short clip, you can see the hot water response time at the furthest bathroom. It's about 50 feet away from the water heater and after the water hasn't been used in a while. As you can see here, it takes about 6 seconds for the water to get from the manifold to the faucet and hot water to come out. That's it. I hope you find this video helpful if you're looking into hot water circulation and are interested in this more efficient alternative to active circulation.